BaconBit.
Joel.
So gentle. It's just too gentle.
BaconBit, BaconBit, bacon.
There we go. Save it for the spoiler section.
Oh, good point.
Yes. Oh, so we're talking about
we
Aladdin
might
today.
be able to find another tune for the spoiler section.
You think?
Maybe.
Maybe an original song, perhaps? Or two?
Maybe.
Maybe Jasmine can sing them for us?
So these two
Oh
yahoos,
my gosh. I wish I could sing. I would do it.
You would? Because you remember them?
I remember a couple of the words, yeah.
These two yahoos went and saw the new Aladdin movie. They saw it without me, though.
See, now you're the sad one. Usually Jake is the sad one.
But Jake and I made an agreement, if you may remember, on a previous show where we agreed.
We did?
Yeah, because it was on the summer movie preview. You agreed that you'd go to Aladdin, and I agreed I got to go to Lion King, and Kent was over there going, guys, I'm the one who gets the tickets. I choose this.
Yeah. You guys are really determining my future here.
Yeah.
But I'm just
I
happy
already
to
saw
spend time
Lion
with
King,
either of
too.
you. Oh, you did?
Yeah.
1994? Is that when you saw it?
Yeah, you were there.
He just barely saw it. So they went to go see Aladdin, and they're going to be giving a spoiler-free review here up at the front, followed by spoiler-full review, because we're going to spoil Aladdin.
I mean, do we even need to say spoiler free? Spoiler full?
I think
I
so.
mean, we do, because we can talk about changes that people may be excited about.
Changes.
So, Joel, why do you hate this movie so much and you haven't seen it?
I don't hate this movie. I just said I don't really care to see the advanced screening nor contribute to the box office of this cash grab childhood ruiner.
When are you going to... Somebody doesn't hate it. So when are you going to watch it?
When it comes out on streaming, maybe if my kids want to. Well, it largely depends on what you guys are about to say.
You're going to be a street rat and torrent to the movie?
Because if you guys both say you like it, well, then I'll have you committed to a mental asylum.
Nobody hates this movie. Not at all.
We really like it. You should go see it.
Well, here's the thing. Like
we should do
the
that.
Cinderella remake that they did, the live action Cinderella remake, actually wasn't bad.
I actually thought it was really good.
I prefer the original one.
That's the best remake I know of. Is there a better remake than that?
A Disney remake?
Cinderella?
There is
Are you
not.
saying the best Disney remake?
Yeah, Disney
Or best remake?
Yeah, Cinderella.
Disney remake.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
I'm
Because
saying of all time.
you said once that the best burrito you ever had was at Taco Bell.
The best Taco Bell burrito.
That day. Yeah, so Maleficent was bad. Cinderella was good. Beauty and the Beast was a straight up copy of Beauty and the Beast with
ridiculous.
auto-tune.
Well, and then they
Jungle
added a
Book was
whole
super
story.
annoying,
The two
but cool
Jungle Books,
effects.
yeah.
The two Jungle Books?
There's the Jungle Book in 94.
Oh, see, that one is
95.
original with
Kind
Jason
of.
Scott Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
still,
he was
not
old
as,
Mowgli.
not as good as the cartoon.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it, fellas. One of you go first. Who wants to go first?
Go, Jake. You have to.
You go first.
I volunteered you.
Okay, so
Aladdin is about a young street rat who is a diamond in a rough who is captured and taken to get the mystical lamp that gives you 3 wishes.
Why was he captured to get the lamp?
Because Jafar needed him to go into the Cave of Wonders. See, now it's spoiler territory, Joel.
can I read you some of my voice to text
Did you do
notes
this on the way home?
while I was driving? No,
Sure.
I did this today.
Okay.
Well, first off, my voice to text didn't know how to spell the word Raja. So it said Roger.
Roger the Tiger.
Roger the Tiger. Okay, I will read the exact quote. I haven't even previewed what I've written here. And
This is how Jacob does research for
We'll see.
Bacon
We'll
Sale.
see what this says. Okay, Raja was stupid. Jafar was mostly stupid. Aladdin had all the personality of a blank sheet of paper. Jasmine did perfectly, though, I think. Iago is probably the most villainous character in this movie.
The parrot?
Will Smith was trying so hard to not be animated and intense like Robin Williams that he looked sleepy most of the time. And his stupid genie face, and when he was blue, never did quite look. I'm reading this as it was written, guys. I'm not trying to be grammatical right now. I'm just reading.
It just sounds
keep
very
going,
harsh.
keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. And his stupid genie face when he was blue never did look quite right half of the time. And then
it never looked right half of the time.
yeah, this is
Never.
This is notes.
60% of the
this
time,
is
yeah.
notes as
All
I'm
the
as I'm
time.
thinking it through. Okay, so you've had like the uncut version. So I did put that.
Oh, they're positives.
Yes, there's some positives. There's a couple positives. So I like that they did 2 things I thought was cool. One is they did this with Beauty and the Beast as well, when it's like Belle picks up the beast and throws him on the horse, it's all like the little things that you're like, that doesn't actually make sense. They fix those, like these little, like just tiny little tweaks. So it's like touch nothing but the lamp. And the whole time when I was a kid, I was like, they're touching stuff all the time because they're like walking.
He's walking on coins.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, and it was bugging me as a kid. So in this one, it says, take nothing but the lamp.
Take nothing.
Yeah. And it's like that happened. Do you remember another one, Kent? There was a few of those.
There were a few.
Yeah. And I was like,
I tell you what, plot holes in Disney movies drive me nuts.
Also, like
so
how
important.
Aladdin returns to Jasmine, like how they meet each other, and also is it? We'll save it for
hold
spoilers.
on. Are you jumping in?
No. Go ahead. I'm just trying to solve the plot holes for them.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
So that was the one thing I did. I liked that they did. The other thing I liked that they did was they added a lot of new dialogue. There was new lines. And they rewrote some of the. Would it be the plot? It's not the overall plot, but like the micro plots.
There were things they had to fix because even a big animated genie, that was about as much cartoony elements as they could have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of big climax moments from the cartoon that they couldn't pull off here.
Yeah. So they went in different directions.
Yeah.
And so the pacing is completely.
So what you're saying is Jafar does not turn into a giant snake at the end.
He does not, sadly.
He does not.
Is that a spoiler?
Yes, it was.
It is.
It totally was a spoiler. Darn it.
Spoilers.
But no, they changed a lot of things, and I think some of their choices were smart. I think on paper, it actually looked pretty good on paper. I think in execution, it looked very poor. And that's what's frustrating to me. Oh, here's the other thing I did like, is they wrote in these interesting lines from the genie talking to Aladdin about basically keeping his head on straight, not being prideful. And there was a few of them, and I was like, that's actually a pretty good line. Man, that's a pretty good line.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find tiny little nuggets of something good in something that frustrated me greatly. End of my review, it's a C.
Okay.
See.
Jake, I'm not going to be as negative as you are.
You would have been if you went first.
I totally would have been, though. Actually, no, I'll match your grade entirely. This is a really average movie. It's not good. It's not bad. There are some things it does well for what it is. For example, Friend Like Me is a very big song and is very Will Smith-esque, meaning there's beatboxing.
Totally forgot the musical numbers are actually pretty good.
The musical numbers are the best part.
Yeah.
Just like Aladdin, probably.
It's Bollywood. It's very Bollywood.
Well, it's try-hard Bollywood.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Does it feel like you're watching a stage production of Aladdin and being like, this is great. I prefer the movie version, but this is good.
I wish it was that. That would have been better.
No, it does because
It does feel like that at times, yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because it feels a little bit like Wrinkle in Time, the way it was filmed. Because there are times when I wasn't sure Aladdin and Jasmine were on the same soundstage. It focuses so much on their faces. I'm like, are they together on the carpet right now? I can't even tell. They did have good chemistry when you could see them together. And I liked Aladdin more than you did.
Oh, really?
He was
the character.
He was likable.
The actor.
He was really.
That's what we mean.
He was really. I think the actor didn't have much charisma.
He had no charisma,
but he really tried.
He did.
And I think when he was with Jasmine, it worked.
I warmed up a little bit as it went on
Because Kent was holding you?
It literally warmed up. I'm a furnace, by the way.
Yeah. He's kind of like a bear. So that's not.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I did. I warmed up to him as it went, and it did work when he started interacting with her. But by himself, I really mean it about the blank sheet of paper. It's like he kept smiling, but there was just nothing there. You know,
Aladdin is my favorite classic Disney movie because it's funny, and it's not too funny like Emperor's New Groove or anything, but it's just the right amount of funny. And Robin Williams carries the whole thing. Will Smith is not the comic relief in this movie.
No.
Whatsoever.
I don't feel like they were even wanting that.
There was a comic relief character, and it was Nassim Pedrad, who plays the handmaiden of Jasmine in this movie, Naomi Scott. And she was the funniest part.
Was she funny, though?
Funny, kind of.
What about Abu? Abu is totally the comic relief in the movie.
Nothing.
Nope. Iago, not funny.
What? No, I said Iago was villainous. And he says the most villainous things in the whole movie.
So
he's a parrot.
This is...
He's just turned dark. He's not funny.
When they're throwing everything at the screen, when there's a lot of basically smoke and mirrors, the movie's kind of fun to watch. And the colors in this movie are awesome. They basically take a Bollywood set and just throw the smoke and powder and everything everywhere.
The Prince Ali musical bit was cool.
It was better than the clip that I saw.
So much better than the clip.
Even though it's kind of the same, but on the big screen it works better.
It did work better. And seeing what came before and after, like they picked the most awkward part, and that's what they previewed to everyone.
This did not need to be made by Guy Ritchie. The only thing I think he was trying to make very Guy Ritchie-esque is when they're running away from the palace guards at the beginning. They speed up the action, and he's singing, one jump ahead. He's singing, but their body's moving really quick. They're like 2 times speed, but his mouth, it's like a music video. His mouth is going at normal speed.
Okay.
And I was like, that's a weird effect you guys are trying. Is that a Bollywood effect?
It seems like a Guy Ritchie effect.
It's just a Guy Ritchie thing.
It's a Guy Ritchie thing, but it doesn't quite work.
It didn't pull it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, that was like the only thing where he's trying to express any sort of personality there. Otherwise, it was like nothing. Where Aladdin's on the chair, and this is in the trailer, so it doesn't matter, but when he's falling backwards on the chair, I felt like that was a very Guy Ritchie shot, but this is...
About 15 minutes in, I said, well, I don't dislike this movie, but all I'm doing is comparing it to the cartoon here.
Which is inevitable.
And so I'm like, I gotta remove my love of the cartoon out of this, and does this movie stand on its own? And truthfully, no. Aladdin's not that dynamic of a character.
No.
He's a good thief, and you can see it in this movie, but it's immediate love, and we should just get into spoilers at this time.
Okay, should we get into spoilers?
Yeah, spoilers.
We already
give it a
have,
C.
like...
You both give it a C?
Straight up average.
You're agreeing?
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
I was going to say,
could have been
for
worse.
agreeing, he was a lot more bitter than you.
Yeah.
Jacob was a lot more bitter than you can.
Yeah, usually my positives are a C.
All right,
I do have nice things to say, though.
Let's get into spoilers then. A whole new spoiler. Don't you dare listen if you haven't watched.
Even though we've already kind of spoiled it.
I know what else we're going to say.
You've seen this movie through.
So in Aladdin, when in the original cartoon, when it is kind of like a Lois Lane effect, when she doesn't know Prince Ali is Aladdin, you're kind of like, it's fine. His hair's kind of different.
That was the big one that they fixed.
In this, no, it's even worse here. She totally sees him for more as the street rat Aladdin for a long time. Like they have an established kind of romance, and then she meets Prince Ali, and she's like, you look familiar. I'm like, he's shaved.
What are you talking about? The genie had a whole line where he said, no one's going to recognize you because of genie power.
Oh, he said genie power?
Yeah. He said genie power.
Yada, 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 genie power.
A wizard did it.
That's exactly what they said.
No, that Simpson said a wizard did it.
No, because Aladdin was like, how can I go back there because they're going to recognize me? And he goes, oh, no, this is how genie power works. No one's going to recognize you.
But you know what's funny is Jafar noticed him because Aladdin slicks his hair back when he's Prince Ali, but his hair got a little in his face, like he was all handsome. And Jafar's like, there's Aladdin. Like that's all it took.
Jafar finds him handsome too.
By the way, Jafar is the worst part of this movie.
Like worst part?
Should we call him Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Hot Jafar?
Jafart.
That's what you didn't want to say?
You thought that was crossing the line?
If my kids listen to this, they're going to be like, Dad said it.
Jafart. I'm actually going to use that. Yeah.
Just call him that from now on, Kim.
Disney has a great pantheon of villains, and Jafar being one of their best.
Sorry, did you?
But in
say
this
that
movie,
right?
This is where Bacon
he's so forgettable. If I saw this guy in a movie tomorrow, I wouldn't recognize him. There was nothing that captivating there. He wasn't even all that villainous. There were scenes at the beginning.
Wasn't. That's why I said Iago's more villainous.
He's being like the perfect villain, and he's like, I'm going to punish these people, or I'm going to push this guy down a well, 300 style. And you're like, because you're the villain, but his tone is so bland, you don't really buy into it. In fact, Iago, who doesn't really talk and just says, evil plan, or something like that.
So is he like a talking parrot?
He's a normal talking parrot.
Yeah.
They got the voice.
Well, no, he does a few things where he like adds.
He'll be like, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's like he adds a little bit.
Who did the voice of Iago?
Alan Tudyk.
Okay.
Disney's guy. Who is great. He got paid a lot for doing very little. Spoiler, at the end, instead of big snake Jafar, we have giant condor Iago. Like a big scary bird Iago.
Okay, so Jafar transforms him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a big scary bird.
But Jafar is the genie. Does he try to get genie powers?
Sorry, it's pronounced Jafar.
You did this, Joel. My kids can't listen to this now. They're gonna be, otherwise they're going to be saying it, and my wife's going to get mad at me.
I call him Jatut or Jafluff.
Jatut. We can say Jatut.
Jatrump.
Oh, man.
It's the English way.
So he does become the sorcerer. It's a lot less grand. In fact, the whole climax of the movie is bland, not grand. But Agrabah there's almost a sky beam at the end of this movie.
Oh, no.
Because Agrabah is being destroyed by this big whirlwind and everything. And you're kind of like, well, that wasn't really necessary. and they geographically didn't feel threatening whatsoever. The positives of this one, and this was necessary because it's 2019, is Jasmine got a lot more screen time. In fact, this is half her movie.
Naomi Scott.
Did you like her?
I did quite a bit.
Naomi
me
Scott,
too,
the pink Power Ranger from the most recent Power Rangers movie.
Dude, she nailed this.
She's the absolute highlight of this movie.
She is.
Great voice.
Great voice, and she's intense. Holy cow.
I saw an interview of her on Jimmy Kimmel, I think, and she was talking to whoever the host was, and at one point she kind of sings a couple bars of
Really? Okay.
a random song. It wasn't even like an Aladdin song. She was doing something else.
It might have been one of the original songs.
Well, no, it's like she was just like telling a story about something, and she made kind of this joke, and she sang as a joke. But I was like, wow, she can hit notes good. And so I thought, okay, well.
Because there's a lot of
Hit notes
auto-tune.
well.
Dude, if the whole movie had brought what she brought, like I would have liked it as well
Are
as
you
the
guys
original.
sure you're not just kind of, enamored with her beauty and therefore forgiving of everything she does?
Well, and her talent as well. She just did a very
Talent.
great job. A talent that's in her, right? So it does push the whole women can be sultans too, and the laws need to change. And you're kind of like, sure, Middle East is really going to allow that back in the day, or even now.
Yeah, progressive culture in ancient societies always goes over
Which is
very
why there's credence to the theory that Agrabah is actually a post-apocalyptic world, considering the genie makes all these pop culture references.
I like it.
That's what they say from the original Aladdin as well.
I've
well.
never
Does
heard
the
that. That's
genie
great.
make a Rodney Dangerfield joke?
But he makes...
Does the genie make a joke?
No. Was he funny at all, Jake?
Nah, I mean, like occasionally, like a little bit.
Like Will Smith funny?
Listen, let me give you an example. Here's what they did. They took Robin Williams' Genie, 10 out of 10. So he's a 10 out of 10 with everything, right? So this movie, they're going to be like, okay, we want to either match it, exceed it, or go a different direction. And they're like, we're going to go a different direction. But some of the times they're like, let's just kind of reel this in. So what did Robin Williams do? Let's do like a quarter of that for the joke instead. And so the jokes don't land.
Okay,
right?
and
for example, like Abu, right?
Yes.
Abu. You remember the part where he's turning Abu into the elephant, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And with Robin Williams' Genie, it's like not enough, still not enough, right? And he goes through, he's like a dozen different things. In this instance, he's like 3 different things, and then he's the elephant. It's like that with everything. Everything that Robin Williams did, they did a quarter. Like Will Smith did a quarter of it if he did it at all.
The producer basically said, hey, Will Smith, you have a big personality, and he does. He has so much charisma that he pulls this off most of the time, I would say. The CG doesn't help, but Will Smith does his part to not be Robin Williams.
The CG is so poor.
But they said, hey, you're doing great, Will, but do you know what we want here? Hitch. You're Hitch the Genie.
That is exactly it.
And so the comedy here comes from him as a dating coach for Aladdin.
Okay.
Like the running joke throughout this movie, and it's a funny part, but not funny enough to be mentioned 6 times.
Oh gosh, the jam.
Aladdin talks about jam. And he says, I'm a prince and I brought you strawberry jam and raspberry jam and date jam. And Will Smith is like, I've been in a lamp for 1,000 years and I'd rather be there than here right now. And you're kind of like, haha. They bring it up 6 to 7 times more after that.
I'm confused. He brings Jasmine jam?
Jam is a wedding gift.
So he brings a lot of gifts, including jam, and he gets really nervous and befuddled, and so he just starts mentioning too much about the jam, and that's the joke.
And he's a dating coach. He basically is like doing the Hitch shuffle with Kevin James.
He's a life coach, is what he is. It's like dating and life. And yeah, Hitch. I didn't even think about that. That's exactly what he is.
By the way, I did hear that Will Smith did sneak in a Fresh Prince reference. I don't know if it made it to the final version, but that's what Naomi Scott was saying.
I'm sure they kept it in.
It's
It's when he said, it's good that you're an orphan because parents just don't understand.
No.
That was it.
He didn't say that,
did he? No.
I'd love that if he did.
I
no,
wish.
it was like
That's what he should have
it's
done.
during
It should have been meta.
It's during the song Prince Ali, and he says, "Make way, Fresh Prince Ali."
I think they did, actually.
So maybe it's in there. Listen for it.
Yeah, but I would say the biggest change here, because Jakey, you and I were talking, this is probably 65 to 70% of the lines and greatest hits from Aladdin stretched out another 20 minutes. And they do add the storyline of the Sultan and Jasmine's interactions.
Jasmine has actually a pretty good original song.
2 original songs.
2. Well, wait. Was it 2?
Yeah, because there's one that's like, I don't have a voice because I'm a girl.
You should be a songwriter.
I thought it was like just a longer version of the first one, because she did the one where it's like,
it might have been
it ends with like
reprise.
Yeah. And then it goes into the full one at the climactic
But
ending.
Joel, you'll be very proud, and thank you everyone for paying attention to this spoiler section, because this is a huge spoiler. There is a friend like me rap mix at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Jake and I were so pleased.
I told you.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Will Smith rap at the end.
Also, and right before that, the final credits of the movie, it is kind of a stage production because they all do a Bollywood number.
At the end.
And it's a very, once again, quick moving Guy Ritchie thing where he just tries to make it fantastical and colorful. But Guy Ritchie doesn't need to be doing this. In fact, it doesn't feel like him at all.
No, it doesn't.
Danny Boyle pulled this off way better in Slumdog Millionaire.
Thank you.
Because that felt right, even though he's another British white guy making that kind of movie.
You make me so happy.
But he's a great filmmaker. Guy Ritchie's good half the time. And in this movie, he's good half the time. Because he made a dependable movie. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where it goes. I do think as people are watching it, they'll enjoy this movie. And they'll say, you guys were a little harsh. The day after, they'll say, what happened in that movie? I'm going to go back and watch the cartoon.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
But I will say that, for, young girls that maybe didn't care for how slighted Jasmine was in the original, if she was, even though it's an Aladdin movie.
They develop her a lot more.
They just develop her a lot more.
Yeah, and that's what's important.
Someone has a crush on Naomi Scott.
I do. And she wears very pretty dresses, but she doesn't wear the red dress that she wears when Jasmine puts her in the hourglass.
When Jasmine?
When she's, you got a twisted little beard.
She's also not so...
when Jatoot puts Jasmine in the hourglass, yeah.
She's actually much more modest in this, isn't she, than like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
Purposely.
way more. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. You mean the fact that she actually has a normal
Guys,
waist?
save it for...
Yeah.
Whoa. Save it for our Disney Princess Theory show.
Oh, wait. We've done that.
Oh, wait. Yeah, so, Joel, I hope you... I want to know what parts you like. Like, so I want you to see it just so I can know. You're like,
I'll probably
I thought this
see it
was good.
eventually.
I thought this was good. This really bugged me. I really am curious.
I'll probably see it eventually. I'm just not going to see it in theaters, I don't think.
I don't think you need to.
You probably don't. Unless
fact,
it just needs a scratch in it.
Jake and I talked about this. We're like, should Joel see this? And if it was any worse or any better, we would have said yes.
Yeah.
We actually talked about this because Jacob and I had a whole conversation of when the cake was going to arrive. And I'm like, nope, can't wait till we record. Can't delay the recording another day. We have to do it that night.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, that was part of the complication,
That's
too.
one of the reasons I didn't go see it.
Oh, I see.
We brought him a birthday cake for those of you that didn't see the Facebook Live
Oh,
video.
by the way, thanks, guys. It was wonderful and delicious.
Yeah, go see the Facebook
Not
Live.
Aladdin, the cake.
Wonderful and delicious. The most wonderful and delicious movie in years.
Average and too much fondant. Aladdin.
Way too much Jafart.
Jatoot.
No. Let's just end this.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
I don't have a voice because I'm a girl.